Well, welcome back, friends, to Watch Closely. It's a weekly show where we take a closer look at the world of movies, television, shows, streaming, all that fun stuff. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for having us, grace your presence on this fine Thursday, which we're recording. I just want to introduce you guys to a man who knows. Actually, I was going to say a man who James Gunn based his Superman off of. Ernie, how you doing?
Hello. I am doing fantastic, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, dude. Oh. Minor difficulties, dude. I'm still on island time. I don't know if you guys know, I was on vacation for the last 2 weeks. That's why we didn't have an episode. How are you doing, bro? It's good to have you back.
Great, dude. Chilling, dude. I'm doing really great, dude. Good to have you back on the cast. I feel like missing that 1 week was kind of odd. Like it felt weird. I was like, I really wish we would have been able to like do that episode. I had technical difficulties on my end. And I was really trying
to throw you under the bus, but yeah.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, you can. I mean, I was trying to record an episode and like all these things just came up and I'm like, man. And I thought to myself, and I always appreciate it. And I've said this before. I appreciate Jason and what he does. But that particular day, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need him. Like, where is, my tech guy? Where's the AI? He's like my AI. I just got to ask him, hey, what's going on? But this guy was on island time. I couldn't be like, hey, what's going on? And he was over there like, I
was like, what you need, man? I got you.
Dude. He was in the Bahamas or whatever he was, dude. How was that, by the way?
Dude, great time. Had a lot of fun. Did a lot of snorkeling with the turtles. We got a lot of beach time in. A lot of fun beaches. A lot of fun food. It was good. We were in the Caribbean, East Coast Caribbean. So we saw St. Kitts, we saw St. Marvin's, St. John's, a lot of different saints, and Antigua, and I'm trying to think of all the names we went to. The Bahamas. It was fun times. Definitely recommend if you guys have a chance to go check them out. Each island has its own unique flavor, blend, cultures. It's really a good time. But it's like, with all things island time, like you never know what the weather's going to be. Like every day it could be pouring rain or it could be bright sunshine. So you just kind of have to roll with it. And it's always, I love like seeing like the thunderstorms at night. That's one of the things I look forward to when I go to these islands. But we're not here to talk about islands. We got so much movie news that we haven't covered this last 2 weeks, bro. But dude, Ernie has made up for the technical difficulties of yesterday because he's seen pretty much everything there is to see.
Everything under the sun, as they say.
That's right.
I was able to go watch movies, dude, and then I was blessed, as they say. How you know what I mean? Like, thank the maker.
I need to hear the story though behind this. Did you get A-list? Like, what happened?
No, dude. So it was my wife's birthday. And she had asked. I didn't tell her to put this on her list, but she, for whatever reason, had put on her list like, I want to get like gift cards to AMC, and so someone had gifted her AMC gift cards, but I think she wanted A-list. Usually she gets A-list gifted, but this time I don't know. Someone just gave her gift cards, and so she ended up getting that. And then I was like, hey, do you want to go watch The Fall Guy? Because we both like Ryan Gosling, and first ticket was to that. I went to go see that great movie, and then I was like, you know what, I'm feeling like watching, and I kind of like set the tone for it. I'm like, we should watch Rise of Planet of the Apes, and she's like, nah, I don't want to see that or whatever, kind of reluctant, and I put it on, and it's the first one's called Rise of the Planet of the Apes, right?
Right.
Okay, the one with James Franco.
No, the new one's Rise, isn't it?
That's what. No, the new one's called Kingdom.
First one's Dawn, I think. Is it Dawn? Isn't
No,
it Dawn, then Rise, then War, then Kingdom? I think it's Dawn, Rise, War, Kingdom. I think. Dawn.
I think it came out on 2011. I want to say, yeah, 2011. Yeah, Rise of Planet of the Apes. That's the first one.
Oh, so and it's Rise first?
Yeah, Rise is first, and then it's sense. Dawn, and then it's War, and then it's Kingdom.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, so I put that first one on, and I'm like, let's watch this movie. I put it on, dude. And she started watching, and I'm like, dude, I was like just watching her because
that first one's great.
Yeah. The first one is so darn good. Like I think it's got some of the best like acting overall from all the films. Because I was talking to friend of the cast, Lex, and I love the second one. Like the Dawn of Planet of the Apes is probably was my favorite back then. But going back and rewatching the first one, I was like, man, this is a fantastic movie, dude. And I was telling my wife, I was all watching her. I'm like, it's a good movie. And she's like, it's really good. And I'm like, I know. And I'm like, do you want to watch Kingdom? And she's like, watch it. And so like I got her into, we got tickets to the next movie, and so we saw that as well. And then in that middle, I think, or it might have been before the Fall Guy, but I want to say it was in the middle. I went to go see Star Wars Phantom Menace, dude, which I'm really
Nice.
sad because I wish you would have been there. And I think it was the day, like a day before you were gonna go on your trip. So I didn't think. I think you might have left or something like that because your
Oh,
dogs
maybe
were already
I
here.
was traveling. Maybe it's
No, I'm not.
mid-flight.
Maybe, but I had gone to see it, and I know you were looking forward to it. I saw it with two of my buddies. Like, they're a lot younger than I am. They're like, I don't know, like maybe like 4 years, 5 years, something like that. A little younger than I am.
Hmm.
So when I was a kid, I got to see Phantom Menace like in the big theater. Like I got to see it, when I was a kid. I don't remember it. I was a kid, right? But seeing it again, man, oh, dude, it was so awesome. Like, just I don't know what it was, but I was able to like seeing it as an adult. I was like, man, I could see the vision of what George Lucas was trying to do. Like, I could see it. And then you think about the new stuff, and you're like, man, they shat on it. They like spit on it. Like they were like
Oh no.
Ray Palpatine, and then they're like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, geez, Louise, dude. I was like,
That's what I've
this
been
is wild.
saying. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah,
But
like I mean, we talk a lot of crap here and there, but like you could genuinely tell that they went down a different path after they went to Disney, and like it sucks because they could have essentially just kept it like going. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Venom is not the greatest movie," but it's like it was doing really well. I think I don't know if it'll come up on the numbers, but I heard the movie did like really well like in theaters, and then it was like the number one streamed movie on Disney Plus. And again, I don't even know about that because Disney Plus can give you any number, and we don't even know. Like, you know what I mean?
right, yeah, that's
It's
true.
like we really don't know.
No, it's funny because they had that call with Bobby Iger, right? And he had slipped. I was during the quarterly earnings call last Tuesday or 2 Tuesdays ago, and he had let it slip that he said he was proud of the IP that we're mining, right? And
Haha.
everybody was talking about like, dude,
Yeah.
that's probably like what they call it internally. It's like we're just gonna mine the crap out of these
Well, it
IPs. And
makes
it's like,
sense to do it. Why wouldn't they? Right? It's
but the
like
way
I.
he says it, it's just like this is a
It's
product that we're mining, like
yeah,
Bitcoin or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
it's a
course,
little,
because I said that I've said this before. They're a business, and you're a number, right? Like you guys are money to them. They don't care how they make it. They
oh
just
my
want to
god,
make it, right?
right?
I was talking to another friend of the cast, Wayne, and he's a big like Star Wars fan, and he was telling us he was telling me he's like, man, why don't they come back and just do Star Wars like they used to? He's like, they have everything there. Like, why don't they just utilize what George Lucas had? Like, why are they changing these things? Why did they kill off Han Solo? It doesn't make sense. And he's like, I know that he's been wanting to kill himself, but it's like, Harrison Ford always wanted to die, right? In those
Yeah, but that
movies.
shouldn't matter. It
But
should be
just
a
not,
service
yeah,
to
I
the
know, but
story,
it's like
right?
not
Yeah.
that way, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
he's like, I know it prolongs the story, but it's like, was it worth it? I was like, he's
Right.
like, that wasn't my Luke. I don't. Luke doesn't act like that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I get you. Listen, you're speaking to me, and I'm like, and I know because I have this. I feel the same thing, and I'm like, and then I told him I want to go see Phantom Menace, and I'm like, dude, like again, like what I'm telling you, I saw the George Lucas, like
It's the
essentially what he
vision.
wanted the
It's the
story to
vision.
go,
Yeah.
and like you see what's happened now, and you're like, what happened? Like,
Yeah.
where did you guys go? It's
And
like
it's
they
yeah.
were going down the narrow. That there was they were, with they took their own they took
The
liberties.
crazy thing is they had such a home run, right? Because they had to do was craft a story that brings together the trio, right? Han, Luke, and Leia needed to like join forces for some last epic battle, right? Introduce new characters and what have you. But the fans wanted to see the three return, and we never got that, dude. We only got little bits of Han in the first one. Then we got some of Leia, and she. Oh man, it was so disappointing. Like they had it right there, right? And they could have done it. Could have
Yeah, I
made
mean,
all the
they
money.
they could have definitely. I think they were trying, and I know. there's a lot to movies. Obviously, we're not directors or anything like that. We just criticize films the way we see them because this is what we like. But I know there was more to it, but it just feels like they were trying to change so much to fit their sort of narrative. And I'm not saying that like in a woke way. I mean, like they were trying to fit the narrative of like trying to sell a toy of this person and or do this, which isn't new. But I
Right.
think because they focus solely on the way a character looks and not the story, I think the movie failed. And I know you've said that many times, Jace. And so I always, I want to say that I reference you on that. But it's true. Like you could definitely see it. It isn't something that like Star Wars shouldn't have been received the way it has been. You know what I mean? It should have kept going because after we finished Revenge of the Sith, it left on such a high, right? I know people were like, I hate Hayden Christensen or whatever, but it's like, no, not everyone does. Not everyone did. That is a blatant lie. Look how, like when he returned, look how much love he got. Like
Yeah.
it's the negative people who are so outspoken that share this. But look at what you did. You talk so much crap about this, and look what you're getting now. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, look what you're getting now.
Right. If you look back on the prequel trilogy, you're like, man, this was not nearly
This
as bad
was
as the newest trilogy, right?
exactly. I mean, man, we've gone back and watched those movies many times, and I haven't seen like I used to watch them. I was telling friend of the cast, I think it was Lex and or Wayne, one of them. I always talk to some random people about Star Wars. Sometimes I got two things I have to tell you. Sometimes I like to tell my wife also and my daughter. I just started. I'll be like, "Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis?" You know when he talks
That's
randomly,
awesome.
and they just look at me. My daughter just looked at me. She's like, "What?" But she's like, "Cause I wanted you to tell me a story," and I told her that. But
She's gonna be like,
the,
Daddy Plagueis, tell me
that
Plagueis.
that's not that's neither here nor there. But I was telling them that um that man, I lost my train of thought. I forgot where I was going with that, but I think I was trying to tell them that watching those movies again had like reignited my like interest to rewatch them again because I haven't had time to watch them. Like I don't make
Mm,
the time like I used to when I was younger. I would watch them almost every day, like genuinely every day. And now I watch anime and or like I watch a movie that's new that we're watching because I just don't have that time like I used to, and so I need to
right.
use it sort of quote unquote wisely. I don't. Don't get. I sometimes I just put on a. Sometimes I just
Yeah,
put
you
on
want
freaking
some
a
like
Dark Knight.
comfort. You want a
Yeah, you
comfort
get some
watch, yeah.
comfort food. You know what I mean? What did I put on? I put on Hot Shots the other day. You remember that movie with
Oh
Charlie
yeah.
Sheen?
Oh wow.
I think
Back in the day.
I put that on, dude, and I was like, what a fun movie. Like where are these movies? Where are these ones?
It's true. It's true. I mean, it's funny, dude. We had a lot of movies on the ship, and we actually were watching a lot of the old. Like they had a good collection of things, like where you could just watch them, you stream them, and we'd fall asleep watching. And dude, we did watch War Planet of the Apes, which still a great movie, dude. I don't remember that movie hardly at all. I think I watched it
Same. I
once
don't
in theater.
either. Yeah.
It's still really good. I was surprised how much I had forgotten about it. We watched. I can't even think of what we watched. So Ferris Bueller, classic. I think we watched Color Purple. Oh, dude! So let me tell you, the newest movie that I have been falling asleep to, and it is a guarantee to make you fall asleep,
I love that this is a movie I've been falling asleep to. What does it tell
dude.
me?
There's some magic about this movie. Let me look.
Do
Let me just
you
pull it up for
believe
it. But
in
see if you can
magic?
guess what it is.
I kind of want to. Is it new, you said? Or is it
It's
old?
new. It's a new. It just came out like within the month.
I want to say it's either the one with John Cena.
Oh,
Is it Nicky Stanicky or whatever?
oh
Ricky
no no no
Stanicky?
no. But we did
Um,
watch that other new one he came out with the girl from Community. What's her name? Allison
Allison Brie?
Brie. Yeah, he did
Yeah.
a movie with John Cena too. We watched that
Oh,
one. I
I
forget.
don't know which one that is.
So forgettable. It's like you can't even pay attention. It's like
Oh, I want. Oh, Roadhouse.
no Roadhouse. No, I don't think I'd fall asleep to Roadhouse. But
Man, I'm
here,
trying to figure out. Just tell me. I don't even know.
uh,
I don't know if I
uh,
could.
yeah, I'll just put it up here. But dude, this movie, I swear, if you want to fall asleep quickly, have you watched this one?
Is it boring?
It's not boring. It's just it lulls you to sleep. There's no drama. There's no like
Is it
anything
fun
that's
at least?
it's okay, bro. It's a very middle of the road. Uh,
I'll be
uh,
honest with you.
it's not as funny as I wanted it to be. Let's put it that way.
I'll be honest with you, and I know you usually tell me you need to be a little harsher on things. This movie looks like ass. This movie looks dumb, like
It
really really stupid, and I don't even know what it's about. I just seen the like I've seen this and I've seen like a clip, but
Did you
couldn't
watch the
even
trailer
I
or
couldn't
no?
bother to watch it. Like it just I'm like this looks dumb, and it probably is not. And I know people are gonna get mad at me because like I should probably check it out, but I don't. This looks like a waste of like time. Like it looks bad.
What's
Yeah.
crazy is it has such a crazy cast. It has so many people, so many comedians. Like
Because it's
I
Jerry
understood like
Seinfeld.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like it's
Everybody's
Jerry
like, of course
Seinfeld, and
somebody would be a
because
Jerry Seinfeld movie.
it's because Jerry Seinfeld is so hilarious, right? Because of Seinfeld, right?
Yeah, he's
But
done
and then
like
so
one of the
like him
greatest
getting yeah, go
like
ahead.
TV shows of all time, right? Like people like that one's gone down in history as being one of the best like New York comedy TV shows, right? People watch
Yeah,
that as much as they watch Friends. Like there's just a niche of people that love that.
I love that show,
Um,
and it's a great show. But like because he's such a high paid actor, I think all these like comedians come to him, right? It's like I get to be with Jerry Seinfeld, but it's like
right.
this movie looks like
But this is the thing. I was thinking about it because it has the recipe for it to be a good movie, right?
it's a recipe
It's
for disaster.
I mean but it has a great cast. It has a bunch of comedians that could write good comedy. Like we know they could write good comedy. But I think the thing is that he's directing this movie. This is a movie that he's directing. So he wrote it and he directed it. And if you watch it, it feels like it would be a great stand-up. It would be a great stand-up bit because you know how like in stand-up when you're making jokes, it's always fun to pull a joke that what you told like a half hour ago, right? Like and like pull it back and like bring it back into the mix and then be like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
now we just talked about that. It all ties together. Like this is how this movie is. If you just read it on paper, it would be funny and it would be a great stand-up. It doesn't work on film. It is like no stakes. It's slow. It's oh man. It's charming and it's barely watchable. It lulls me to sleep every time. Like when I my when
Damn,
we
so
got
I'm assuming you didn't finish it at all,
I've
right?
watched it. I've watched it many times. I've actually fallen asleep watching
Jeez.
it. Like I watched the whole thing, but it's one of those movies that I can fall asleep to within like 5 minutes. And I'm like a person that takes a while to go to sleep. And it's so funny because we got home from vacation and my wife she was tired, but she wanted to like stay on the couch and watch something. And I put this on, and like she doesn't even remember me putting this movie on. She was hard sleep, like she was out cold, and it's just a movie with like peaceful music in the background, no stakes. It just I'm telling you, bro, if you want to
That's
have like
funny,
a
dude.
nice deep
Yeah,
REM sleep,
sleep. I'm gonna put it on tonight, dude, because I'm trying to sleep
you will.
really
You'll
good.
fall right to sleep.
I was talking to my buddy of mine in front of the cast, Lex, and I was telling him that sometimes I put on movies in the background to like watch, but I have to put on movies that I know really well, or else I can't fall asleep.
Mm,
So like I usually put on like Fun with Dick and Jane used to be the movie I used to watch like every night when I would fall asleep when I was like not single, but when I would live by myself with my
yeah,
mother, and then me and my wife would always put on Friends because
yeah.
like we
Friends is a
know
good one.
every episode, like, and so I can fall asleep hearing it and I know what's going on like visually and in my head, you know what I mean? And I love that. But
Yeah.
it's hard for me to put on new things. Like I don't know why, dude. I feel like I gotta get
Well,
used
it's
to
because
it.
if it's new, right? Your brain's like, well, what's gonna happen, or like at least you want to see what
Exactly. Yeah.
happens, right? Maybe you're not interested, but you're kind of like, well, I still want to know, and then you have to like your brain has to
Yeah.
stay up and figure it out. But yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like I totally appreciate what he's doing with this movie, and like
I don't
I could
appreciate it
see,
at all.
and I know he has like an obsession with cereal too. Like it's funny that, oh man, this is
He
very
has an
interesting.
obsession
I
with
want,
cereal.
yeah, he does. He always talks about like he loves cereal. Like he loves coffee and he loves cereal. Like those are the breakfast things that he loves.
Maybe driving with coffee with cars, but now it's like what is it? The show yet?
Yeah, yeah. He had a show where he'd like drive around with celebrities and taste coffee, or he'd
Maybe
like
just
end up at a
drive
coffee
around and
shop.
taste cereals.
Dude, I would love that. Dude, speaking of which, there was a cereal that I bought the other day because I have a childhood obsession with this cereal called Waffle Crisp. Have you ever heard of Waffle Crisp?
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, it used to be this fantastic cereal with like the syrup built in. Like it just tasted like you're eating like a bowl of waffles,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch came out with a version called Waffle Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
How's that?
It's close, but it gave me that. I had a bowl, and it gave me like a little hint of nostalgia that I had not had for quite some time, bro.
That's
It's
awesome.
it's awesome. Like you can't get those boxes anywhere. I don't think. I think Waffle Crisp was just probably, even if you found a box, it'd probably be old and gross.
Yeah, probably really bad. My wife was telling me about um do you remember Nesquik, right? They used to have like a banana, strawberry, chocolate, and she was telling me about this particular one that's like gone, like I think banana, like you can't find it. And I'm like, I think you could find it on Amazon. Like you can order a box, but you can't find it like at a store.
It's a banana cereal.
No, it's Nesquik, like the drink. You ever never had
Oh,
Nesquik?
Nesquik banana. Yeah, yeah. I don't. I've never had it. I wasn't a big fan of Nesquik for some reason.
Yeah.
Were you a big fan? My wife was a big fan.
I was not. I've had it, but I
It's
was
like
never
banana
like
milk. Yeah.
yeah,
Is this
banana
it?
milk. This is the one, yeah. And it used to come like pre-made, you know.
Like in a like in a pre-made bottle. Like they have it in cans.
I like the strawberry one like a lot.
Strawberry sounds like it'd be good.
That was good. I remember liking it when I was a kid, but I don't like I wasn't it's not that I wasn't allowed these things, but they didn't get me these things when I was a kid. Like I either ate what they made or I didn't eat. You know what I mean? It was like it's one
Right.
of those
There
things.
was no choice. You just
There was no choice. It's like man, I think my mother would say I would be
what
like,
was
"What is
just
there to eat?" And then I'm like, "This." I'm like, "I don't want that." And she would say, "Go eat poop then," but in
that's what she
Spanish.
said.
I swear to you, go eat poop. And I was like,
I was
"Man,
just go eat
I
dirt.
guess I'll I guess I'll just eat it." But I was I don't know,
That's too funny.
silly kid stuff. But yeah, dude.
I just thought it was funny how the New York Post like called out the Bobby Iger's comment. He says the IP that we're mining includes all the sequels that we're doing, and it's second to none. He said it, and the writer says, "Forget about Wish Upon a Star. Now it's when you drill upon an IP." I was like, dude,
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
when you drill
Dang.
upon an IP, but it's true, right? Like we've mined out Star Wars, we've mined out Marvel, and
I know they're
then
mining Lion King now with Mufasa.
Lion King. Dude, nobody asked for that. Like,
No,
why
I
do we
mean
need that?
no, we don't. But like I saw a trailer the other day,
Did you
and my
like it?
wife, it looks cool, but it's like
Nah.
I really don't care. It looks like it should be a Disney Plus show.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
feel like most
understand.
of these things are written for that now. Like it just looks like straight to streaming. My wife had seen it with me in the trailer or in the theaters when we went to go see. I think the Fall Guy, and
Yeah.
or it might have been Kingdom, and she's like, what is this? And she's like, they're making it. I'm like, yeah, it's the story about Mufasa, and she's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
think they're selling it purely on that song, the hey one ya hey one, like
Oh
it's like
yeah, in the beginning, right? In the
you hear it in
beginning,
the beginning, you're like,
in the beginning,
oh,
it's like,
it
oh
takes you back.
man.
Like I want to watch this again.
Oh
No,
yeah.
bro.
I he's all
Just,
and then I think at one point he goes, that shield you hide behind. I was just kidding.
but the thing that doesn't make sense to me is like, in the trailer, he says he has no royalty, right? Like he's not. He's like, isn't Scar his whole deal? Like he wants to be the king because of the royalty thing. Like, is it just gonna be like him and his brother are gonna grow up like it's his brother, right? Scar's his brother.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, my little pig was said bacon here. I believe the story follows Mufasa as a young cub, uh
Right.
regaining the power of being royalty. And I don't think he's royalty like as in like I have royal blood. I think he just becomes the savior of the savannah or whatever. And I'm assuming
He becomes like
is
by
crowned
committee or
the
something.
Lion King. You know what I mean? I think that's the point, the rise to that.
But
The
I thought Scar's whole beef was that he was not the eldest or whatever, and like like
I think
Mufasa automatically got king, and he was jealous of him, right?
well, if I remember correctly, in the cartoons,
I don't
what's his name?
remember. I have to go watch it.
Scar. Sorry, what?
I said I don't remember. I have to go back and watch it.
No, you're fine. I watched it recently, but Scar says, "Are you challenging?" Or Mufasa goes, "Are you challenging me? Like, should fight?" And he's like, "No, I wouldn't dream of it." I've like he says, I got all the brains in the family, but you got the bronze. Like you're stronger than me. So I'm assuming in this film,
It's gonna be a
because
montage of like him pumping iron.
exactly like Mufasa isn't sorry, Scar is there with Mufasa, but Mufasa is the one that's going to take out whatever the villain is in this particular film. Could be like the hyenas and or something. I hope they do like that sweet like be prepared, you know what I mean? Where dun 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 dun, with like the
Yeah.
freaking Nazis and stuff. And he's like
I
making an
mean,
army. He's making a
maybe.
Nazi army of hyenas.
It's supposed to
But
be
you know
like-
what I mean? If they do something like that, it could be cool. And again, like this isn't how I mean, this isn't for us. I think this is like a way to like have people come into something that they probably haven't watched. You know what I mean? I think this is gonna like
Yeah.
people are gonna watch this and be like, wow, well, let's I want to see the original Lion King now. And like you said, they're drilling IP. Like it's bringing people in the door maybe because like they're seeing the like a Disney IP. It's like, oh my gosh, we're getting a new something in the Lion King universe.
I think they are listening to the fans at least a little bit with like the expressions. I think I saw a little bit more expressions in their faces. Right, that was the big thing that people didn't like about the first one was that it didn't have. It just looked like you're watching a documentary. And I think this one is like at least giving you
a little bit
something.
more. I think they're going to.
Like it is.
I think this is going to be like a testing ground for whatever they do next, which is going to be Bambi. And
right.
I think this is a testing ground for that because it's a beloved IP, and so they could definitely like it's already been established as a CGI'd version of itself. So people could essentially be like, "Wow, this is really great, and I love this," and like, "Well, I can't wait to see what Bambi does and stuff."
Yeah, I mean, I hope. I mean, we're always hoping for the best, right? We're always hoping that it's going to be good. It's just funny when I saw the trailer. It's like, what is this? Like, why do we need this? What is this?
What is these? I was very good. I was about to say too. What is these?
Dude, we watched The Little Mermaid 2 on the ship, dude. Oh my gosh.
Which Little Mermaid 2?
No, the new one.
With
Hailey
Bailey.
Is it Haley or Hallie?
I think it's Haley. Actually,
I think it's Haley Bailey.
Yeah.
She's still like she's a great singer and everything, but it's so funny. Like, it just makes you go back and want to watch the original animated.
You know what's funny is this is random, but my daughter loves Little Mermaid, like the cartoon. I've talked about this before, and she's loved it. She loves that cartoon so much that when I took her to Disneyland, like recently, she had me buy her the dress, and I'm like, I'll get you whatever you want, and she wanted that dress, so she has it, right? She loves it, so she loves that, and for whatever reason, the other day, she's like, I want to watch Little Mermaid, and I'm like, all right, I'll put on Little Mermaid, and I thought it was the cartoon, and she's like, no, I want to see the real mermaid. And she wanted to see the Haley Bailey, so she likes it. I think she enjoys it, but I think she still gets a little bit more like she gets like scared of it, like because it's real, and then she's like, "What happened?" Like in the beginning with the tiger, the lion, or I mean the lion. Oh my gosh, the shark. It's attacking.
Oh yeah, the shark.
And she's like, "What happened?" It looks real, yeah. She gets it looks real to her. But
yeah, I mean, she does a great job. I think she's still a great singer. It's just so funny that I was looking at when she becomes live action, and she just like because everything in this version is like it's just her face, right? It's just a floating head. I don't know if you saw like the behind the scenes, like when she's doing all that motion and stuff. It's just like they pretty much CGI out everything but her face, like for the performance. And then when she becomes a human, she has like a dress and everything, and like she has a figure. And I was telling my wife, it's like she traded her voice to the sea witch and got boobs.
Oh yeah,
because there's nothing. She's
I know. Yeah, they flattened her chest and that. What's funny is, I'm surprised they didn't do that like when she was wearing the regular dress.
Imagine they like shrunk it down, or she had. I don't know.
I mean, they could. Who was talking about it? I forget what it was, a podcast or someone in a music video, but I think I was telling you about this a long time ago. But for the movie Herbie Fully Loaded, the one with what's her name?
The original one?
Yeah, the one with the redheaded girl. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Oh my gosh.
With Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan. I was gonna say something else, but Lindsay Lohan. Someone what, because her boobs got bigger around this time, and someone had to go in and reduce her breast or something like that. Is like a story I heard
Are you
in this
serious?
particular movie. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Imagine.
crazy. Yeah, and I
That's
was like,
good.
that is so funny. Isn't that crazy? Because it's like, but it's a thing. Because I mean, obviously, it's for kids, and you don't want kids to be looking at something like that. Maybe I don't know, but
Right. Was this a sequel? Was it just Herbie and then it was Herbie Fully Loaded? So
I
like
don't
she
remember. I'm sure she's in both, but I don't recall. Like, I haven't seen these movies in like
so maybe by the time she did the
got
second one,
older.
she was older, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Just
old she was, but when I was a kid, I remember this. Like, but I don't remember that story. I just remember her.
she looks so much different now, my gosh.
Oh yeah, well she's older, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of different, we should talk about the Fall Guy, bro. The because my wife was saying
my
when she watched
wife.
my wife, we watched this movie yesterday. Actually, went to the theater and watched it, and good movie. I thought it was really good overall. But my wife said she was distracted because of the way Emily Blunt looks now. Like she looks different, right? Like her face is different. Like I don't know. Were you distracted by it? Because I'm used to her seeing like the Sicario version of her, or like the what's the other one that she's in? The what's it
Jungle
called?
Cruise.
So yeah, Jungle Cruise was more recent. I think she
Mhm.
she didn't look as different, but I'm trying to find a good picture of her
Quiet
like
Place
now.
2.
Quiet Place. Did it distract you at all? Like the way like she's clearly
Um,
had some work
Work
done,
done.
but
No, I mean because I don't really look at Emily Blunt all that much. Like, that I could tell. Like, I mean, I wasn't paying attention really. I was enamored by Ryan Gosling. So he
mm,
took most of my time. Just kidding. No, I didn't notice. I didn't notice it. She looked the same to me, but I'm pretty. Like if you do a side by side, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a difference told. I will say this: there
she
is a
looks good.
close up they do with Ryan Gosling, and I'm like, man, he's getting older. Like he's
Yeah,
definitely
you
getting
see some of the
older.
wrinkles.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
wrinkles. I'm like, holy cow, he's getting older. And
he
there's nothing
looks
wrong
good
with
though.
that, dude. Yeah, no, he looks great, but I hope that like he takes that, like works with that age. Like some people like age so um like gracefully. I hope they do that with him, where he just becomes like the father figure or something like that in that realm of like it'd
Yeah,
be really fun to see him because he's a good actor. Like I remember watching the movie and I'm like, man, they're both like really great at what they're doing right now. Like they're selling the on screen like like romance and everything. I told you this, right? Like the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt is really well done to the point where I'm like, man, they're like really like they really love it. And I was all smiling, and my wife was laughing at me because I'm like, I love rom coms, and like I got that. Like it was cheesy, right, at times, but it
right.
worked really well. The one random weird thing that I will say, and pay attention to this, guys, when you see the movie, is when they kiss. It's like so awkward. It's like they
Uh,
didn't want to kiss, and I know Emily Blunt had said something about kissing her co-stars and how icky she feels about it or whatever, and so
it
that
was
could
like
probably play a role because I mean they're both married, right? And they're
right. So maybe she's thinking like, oh, my husband's gonna be watching this, and it's like, ugh.
exactly, you never know. But like overall, like the chemistry, like the eyes, the way they lock on each other, like you get like it's pretty, it's really well done. I was like, dang, they did a good job, and I think I freaking I really liked the movie a lot overall. I think it was a great movie, definitely a lot of fun to watch.
That's true. It's funny. I liked it for much different reasons. My wife didn't think they had good chemistry at all, which was weird. I was like, okay. I thought they did really well together. I didn't buy. I think her issue was that she didn't buy Emily Blunt's character being that kind of like flirty, like she maybe she's seen too much in real life or something. But I was like, I thought it worked. I thought like for me, I thought it worked. But the reason why I really liked the movie was because I'm such a behind the scenes nerd. Like I love like seeing how things are broken down and like how did they do that? Like how did they do that effect or like how did they do that stunt? Right. And this whole time, dude, I had a smile on my face because you could tell how many stuntmen wanted to be in this movie because there was just stunt after stunt and it was
It
quick
was a lot of
things, right?
fun. Yeah, it was really
S-
cool.
So many cool things. Like they
Yeah,
pretty much did all the tricks in the book and you could tell like there was a lot of like specific tricks that they wanted to add in and like oh dude I was watching all the behind the scenes when I got home and that car flip like how it was really important to them to like have like no cutaways, just like a full frame of like how many times it flipped, because like it's a record on the sand, right? Like they did like a record of I think eight and a half flips or something like that, and just destroyed that car. But dude, it was so cool because I could tell, like even in the fight scenes when they're fighting people like in the hotels and stuff, if you watch it, you'll see like different backs of people's heads like taking hits and stuff, and I like, dude, they're just having the greatest time. I imagine.
Yeah, it looks like they had fun on set, right? Like
Yeah,
I
for
was telling
sure.
that to my wife too. I was like, watching this movie made me. That's why I always talk. What we were talking about before, like being. I know we're podcasters. We talk about movies and all that, but like, there's so much that goes on in a movie, and this movie shows it. And I
Oh
freaking
yeah.
love that because I was like, man, like I told my wife, I'm like, we got to stay till the end of the credits. Like, we have to like see every name that goes down because like, look
Oh,
at
that's
what they've
cool.
done.
That's good.
Like, because it was like so awesome. And then like the end credits show you the behind the scenes too. Like after the movie ends,
Yeah,
they
that
show
was
you
really cool.
something.
I was
I
waiting for
won't
it. I was
spoil it,
hoping
but
it was gonna be at the end.
same. I was hoping too. I was hoping they were gonna do some sort of like blooper, but
Yeah,
I was surprised more so that they did like actual like behind the scenes because I was like, oh my gosh, they did so much in this movie. Like you're like,
I could feel it.
it's
Did you?
unbelievable. Yeah,
I when I was watching, I was like, oh my gosh, like they actually dropped him. Like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, they actually flipped that car. Oh my gosh, they actually
yeah,
drove that. What was it, that like trash barrel thing down the street in the?
yeah,
I
yeah. The
was
dude, it
like,
was
that's
cool.
Gosling hanging onto the side of that trash bag. I was like, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was cool because I had like not too recent, but recently I had watched the movie The Boy Who Lived, I believe it's called, and it's the one about the guy who had gotten hurt doing a stunt for Harry Potter, The Deathly Hallows, I believe. Do you remember this?
Mm,
The stunt double for Harry Potter, or I mean for Daniel Radcliffe. Do you remember this?
I
And
don't
he got
remember Daniel Radcliffe.
paralyzed.
Oh yes,
It was
yes.
a
There's
it was
like
a
they're
new
making a
documentary.
documentary. Yeah.
It already came out, so I had seen it and in that documentary we watched the whole thing. It was really sad. It was crazy because
Uh,
like it's a group of them. They're like a family of people that are always together doing these stunts together,
right.
learning from each other, and then like they grow like this bond. And like you see when they're talking about it, they're like they do like they start crying because it's like he got hurt and he shouldn't have gotten hurt, but it's like it's the job. You know what I mean? And like I think in this movie they do that. Like they try to say like yeah they're okay and they go like they do the thumbs up and that's like the whole
Mm,
comedic relief, but it's like they're not okay. They're just telling you yeah I'm fine but I got hurt. You know what I mean?
right.
And I think I watching that movie and then watching this kind of like gave me a bigger or had me grow a bigger appreciation for these films when they do these kinds of things because it was really neat. I will say this too, dude, I really love the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I didn't stop listening to Kiss until like recently. I kept playing it like all day. Me and my wife kept singing it because it was so. I was like, man, they're gonna overdo it. I'm like, nah, this was like perfectly done. It's like I was made for love, you made me.
Dude, there's so many good songs of the
Yeah, this is
soundtrack.
good.
That's cool, dude. I was gonna say, I agree with you about the stunts and how, because I've been on like movie sets too, and I've seen how they have so much stuff goes on behind the scenes. You have no idea, like the lighting. They have to light things that you don't even think about. They have to have, you know, sound has to be perfect. Like there's so many things that goes on. And I was watching the behind the scenes with the David Lynch, I think is his name, that directed it. And he's done like John Wick. He's done what he's done. He has a crazy history of, and I didn't know this was based on a TV show. I thought, well, I mean, it's original story, but I guess it's like loosely based on a TV show. But he's done so many things, and he was talking about how it's always so more satisfying. Like there are things like you want to do in visual effects. Like there's a simple scene in this movie where he just he just takes a hit from a car, right? The car comes in and takes a hit, and they had to do that all practically. No stunts, no helmets, no wires. Like the stunt double did it, and he's like, I want to make sure that this is a clean take, because he wanted the stunt double to shine, right? He wanted that person to get his moment. And I don't know, just he seemed like he'd been around stunts for so long, like he's grown up with it, and he seemed like he was the perfect guy to make this movie, because it's pretty much a love story woven in between like a bunch of awesome stunts. And like, I don't know, I
Yeah.
liked it. I thought I'm sad that it's not doing like the greatest in the box office. And dude, we got to talk about like box office, dude. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah,
um,
we definitely do. I think. Well, I mean, I think Ryan Gosling coming from also the movie Driver, and in that film he plays a stunt double at the
oh
beginning,
yeah,
right when he has the helmet or I mean the face mask and he's like a cop. Remember
right.
that? So maybe he kind of like grew into that and he kind of knows, like you said, that appreciation. But go ahead.
Yeah, the fact that he did that drop, like he actually did the drop. I mean, obviously it was you know very safe and everything, but he was also talking about that team, like you were talking about, like you build up a confidence with your team to like trust them. Like if they start off with a smaller drop and then you build up and you build up or whatever it is, like whatever the stunt is, right? You start off small and you build up to that final shot that you film, and just like thinking about the guy that was doing the Harry Potter stunt, like dude, like I bet the whole crew felt it, right? When that happened, like oh man, I can't even imagine. But yeah, dude, these guys, it's fun. It's crazy how little. Do you remember the opening part where they're talking about? There's a line where somebody says, I mean, it's not a spoiler, but it's like a minor spoiler. But he says, "Do you guys win Oscars for this?" And he's like, "No, like they're not even recognized, right?
Yeah,
There's
they're
not
not
even a
recognized.
category."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Bro, dude, that needs to
Yeah.
change."
Oh,
But
definitely. But it's like, who's gonna? They have to get a panel of people who actually do these things to know, like, oh, they did a great job, like getting hurt like this. You know what I mean? Like,
right, maybe
there's got to be a whole thing
there's a
about it.
stuntman awards or something. Maybe I don't
Maybe
know.
that'd be awesome. I mean, I feel like this movie definitely is gonna pave the way for people to see that in such a different light, and that's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
you gonna
true.
get into the box office numbers or what?
Yeah, I just wanted to check on the
Are you ready?
charts right now, dude.
Are you
I'm
ready?
ready, bro.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Get the popcorn out.
Oh, so we're gonna talk in
Ah!
the box office numbers, dude. I love that. I love that sound. Um, so based on yesterday, that's the closest we have. So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is still at number one. Let's see how it's doing overall. I'm curious. I've still not yet to see it. But I want to get your thoughts on it, bro, before we jumped in. But
Wow, dude, I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
it's on my list, bro. I am behind. I know you're all
You're
caught
on
up.
my list,
This
dude.
guy, this
You're
guy's
on
like,
my
I'm
list.
surprised you haven't seen it. That's what I would be saying to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's because I usually don't watch these movies before you. You're usually the one pressing me,
I'm like,
telling
let's
like
go, let's
you'll
go, let's
always,
go.
and
Yeah.
that was funny because I do this with friend of the cast Lex, and he gets mad at me too. But like when you're on vacation or you're doing something, I don't text you. I don't bother you because I'm
I
like,
know
well,
it's a
he's
shame.
doing what he's got. I
It's
know,
a
and then
shame.
you're like, you should have been texting me, and you guys both say that, and I'm like, I was literally gonna tell you, hey, I'm gonna go watch this movie. You should go watch it. Find the theater out there in the island because like I was hoping you would like, but I mean you can still do it. It's not like it's far gone, but to get to like the little bit of the movie, I enjoyed it, dude. I thought it was a great movie. I think it ran a little too long. Lex and I had shared the same sentiment with a particular thing in the movie where the main villain,
Yeah.
um, there was not enough just moments with him.
Oh, really?
And
A
there's
lot of
another,
people say they liked his performance, though. They
yeah,
liked it.
no, he's awesome, but I would have loved more of him.
Oh, you wanted more of his
Yeah,
performance.
definitely, way more. It was really cool, but like for me, like I mean, I'm saying like a lot, but there must be the California in me. Huh? That guy, dude. What's his
This
name?
guy,
Oh my, Mako. What's his name? What's the Peter
Peter
Macon? Is
Macon is the
yeah,
one that
the
acts
act?
it. I don't know.
Yeah,
Here,
oh
you want to?
dude,
Here,
bro,
I'll tell you what
Jace,
is
you're gonna freaking love that dude.
Reka, Raka. Is
No, no,
that
no.
his name?
Oh well, Proximus Ray, yeah, Reka. Yeah, Reka is awesome. Proxima
Proxima
Caesar
Caesar is
is
Kevin Durant.
Kevin
Yeah.
Durant. He's awesome, bro. He's really good. But dude, freaking you're going through a bunch of pictures.
Sorry, I was trying to find
No,
one
you're
of
fine, dude. No, you're good.
this
You're
guy.
good.
It's just the back of his head.
It's just the back of his head.
Where is he? What? All I know is what a wonderful
That's like,
day. That's from the trailer, but yeah.
dude, he's awesome. He's really, really good. But
So you
when
wanted
I
more screen time with this
oh
guy?
yeah, dude, definitely more screen time. For me, I was telling him, Alexis, it felt like a video game. Like the
Mm.
progression of like losing everything and having to try to get it back in the film.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
interesting.
like it was really cool. And I was like, man, I would love to play this. I don't know. It's just probably the gamer mindset in me, but
You want
I
to like
thought that
create your own character and like
yeah, be an ape. I
play
think
as a monkey. Yeah.
there is a ape game they had come out, but I forget what
It's
it's called,
interesting
like
that you said
Evolution.
this because I heard some of the early reactions for Furiosa. People are saying it feels like a video game. Like it
Oh,
feels
that's
like
awesome.
you'd want to have a like an RPG of Furiosa, dude. I'm
Dun,
like,
dun,
oh,
dun, dun, dun,
that
dun,
could be cool.
dun. Dude, freaking I mean, you guys can play Mad Max. That's a game that's out right now. It's on
Oh,
PS4. You can play it
nice.
on PS5. It's an awesome game. Really well done. It freaking plays like Batman, the Arkham games. If you ever played
Oh,
that,
really?
the fighting at least. But it's a
That's
really cool
cool.
game. Actually, a friend of the cast, Lex, is playing it right now, but I don't think he's beaten it yet. But I was like, man, should I go back to it? But I'm like, nah. I'm playing some game
So you
called
beat it? You played all
no,
the way
I never.
through?
I've only played a bit of it. Like, well, I played a good amount when I first got it, but I just never finished it.
Uh,
And I could always go back, but I'm like, I don't want to make that time. I'm playing Wolfenstein. I don't know if you ever played Wolfenstein, but this
the
thing
old one or the new
no, the
one?
new one. There's one that
No,
it
I haven't played that
re
new one.
released, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. His name is BJ Blastowitz. Oh man, I want to let me look this up real quick because I want to tell
The
you
main
this.
guy
Main
in
guy has
Wolfenstein?
got a sweet name.
Yeah.
Oh, BJ Blazkowicz. He's an
Yeah.
American. He's an Army American captain. That guy, bro. That is freaking Alan Richardson, the freaking
Oh,
Jack Reacher, bro. If he could, dude, if I fan cast right there, bro, I think he
you'd
would
want
do
him
it,
all
dude.
day.
Yeah, he would do a great job, and he just looks the part already. Man, dude, I should
Is that Doom
who
or
do I
is that
call? Do I call
Wolfenstein where
Bob
it's all
Iger? Who do I call, dude, to
doot
get
and
that?
doot and doot and doot and doot and doot and doot? I think that's Doom. But Wolfenstein, dude, the original Wolfenstein, I used to play that as a kid. Like on the
The one that's like
old
all
98
3D.
PC. Yeah, that one of the old school 3D
Yeah,
games.
I played that too, but that was a terrible game. I didn't
It
like
was
it.
terrible. Yeah, it was hard.
That was not terrible, but it's like it in its time, it was really cool.
It was Wolfenstein was like the precursor to Doom, and then once
Yeah,
Doom came out, everyone was playing Doom, and then it
Doom
just
was
progressed.
awesome. It's just they made it
Progressed.
so much faster. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It was a really fun
it was
game.
more intense. It's just like
I
bam,
played
bam.
Doom actually. I beat that game when I was a kid. Yeah, I shouldn't have been playing it, but whatever. Let's get back to the Planet of the Apes. What was I saying? Uh Dang, what was I talking about? Yeah, also it was like a video game to me, but this particular character right here, what was his name again?
I
What
think his
was
name
Peter
was Baka
Macon
or
Baca?
Baka, something like that.
Dude,
I heard he's really awesome. Like he's really convincing. Like
yeah,
as a
bro. All the characters are convincing. Like the way they act like apes, like or monkeys and stuff, or orangutan. In this case, is like freaking top notch, and the the CGI is really good too.
oh, interesting. It's
Yeah,
so funny. I was watching clips of Andy Serkis do the walk for the apes
oh, yeah.
on. I think it was on the BBC
Rocka is his name. Rocka.
Rocka, yeah. But he has like these little stilts that are for your hands, right? That help you walk and everything. What's the name of the show? Graham Norton show, I think. And it just so happened that Mark Wahlberg was one of the other guests of the show. I think it's Mark Wahlberg, the guy. What's Spider-Man's name? Peter.
Parker? No.
No, Peter Parker's his name, but
Andrew Garfield, Tom
the Tom
Holland,
Holland, yeah,
Tobey
Tom Holland
Maguire.
was
Oh,
there. And so Tom Holland tries out the little, arm walk things, like the little stilts for it, and he just goes completely into Spider-Man mode when he's doing it. And he's like, "Oh shoot, I got to unlearn my Spider-Man," because he's like posing like Spider-Man at the end. And
yeah. That's
but
awesome.
then Mark Wahlberg, if you look at him like during the whole interview, he's super uncomfortable and he doesn't want to be there. Like you could tell he just doesn't want to be there. And I was like, "Oh, it's
He was
because
in the original.
he was in the wrong Apes movie, right?" He was
I
in the
mean, he
one
wasn't
a
in the
remake.
wrong one, but it's not the best one, right?
Well, it didn't
Um,
get a sequel, right? These ones
no,
kept
because it
going.
just didn't. Yeah, it's the
It's not a bad
2001.
movie. It's not a terrible
Dude,
movie.
I'll be honest with you. I was talking to freaking front of the cast Lex, but in this film, you get another villain, and he's like this big gorilla, and he resembles to me Atar from that Planet of the Apes movie, which is played by Michael Clark Duncan, the late and great, right? He's passed away now,
Mm,
but
yeah.
dude,
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I remember the
he's
makeup and
freaking
everything.
dude, he's freaking awesome in that movie, dude. He's really, really dope. And I freaking wish they would have like if he was alive, I wish they would have brought him back to that, but
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, this one, dude.
yeah.
The mask and everything. I remember the masks
Dude,
on these guys.
he looks crazy. He looks really cool. It was
It was
when
good for its
I
time.
was a kid, I feel like this was a good movie. but I know watching it now it's probably bad. But it's just like I didn't know any better. Like when you get what you get at
It
this
was the
point
best that you had at that
at the
time, right? Like,
time,
it's
yeah, it's
yeah.
like this is what you get, and you're like, well, I love this movie. Man, I know there's a terrible movie I love, and I can't think about it off the top of my head, but I know it's terribly good to me. You know what I mean?
Like a
I
like
can't
a
think of a film right now, man.
like a goofy Rambo movie, but like not Stallone, but I don't
I
remember what
feel
the
like, man, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Because I don't want to
like a
say,
cheesy '90s movie or
yeah,
'80s.
dude. I love the like. There's a bunch of great, dumb, silly movies like Kung Pao. Have you ever seen Kung Pao?
Kung Pao Enter the
Look up
Fist.
Kung
Yeah,
Pao. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, dude. So Kung Pao, it's
yeah. That one's really
one of
goofy.
my
Like,
favorite movies. I freaking love that movie. It is hilarious to me, and I've watched it as an adult, and I still like crack up. It is hilarious to me.
oh yeah.
And this is a dumb movie. Like it, I know it is.
Well, it's supposed to be right because
It's
didn't
yeah, so
they?
yeah. It's like it's funny because like if you
It
see
took
the
a serious
director,
movie and
the
they.
writer, and everyone, it's freaking Steve what is it? O.D. Dirk or whatever. I
Oder
forget his
Dirk.
name.
Yeah.
O.D. Dirk, yeah. And he's so funny, bro. The way he does everything, dude. And then and this is like based off of like a real movie, right? Like I think
Wasn't
he
it
just added
supposed to be
himself
like a
into it.
serious kung fu movie and then they just completely like flipped it on its head and added a bunch of craziness
Yeah.
and made it funny? It's kind of like what's the
Kung
Robin
Fu
Hood Men
Hustle.
in Tights
Oh yeah,
where
Roman.
but they refilmed it beat for beat, but this one they took the actual movie and like made it funny. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay, let's get back to the numbers real quick because I haven't seen the numbers in a bit, so I want to make sure. Okay, Kingdom of the Planet and the Apes is number one still. The Fall Guys number 2. Challengers is at number 3. Tarot. I'm surprised Tarot's at number 4, dude. I'm surprised, dude. Horror movies, they're so low budget, they always make money, right? Star Wars is at number 5, like you
I
were
want to
saying, the Phantom Menace. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say something because I actually have an article that I want you to read, and we're gonna get
Yeah,
into it and the notes, and it's actually talking about how horror films are doing much better than most movies right now.
yeah, they are
And
because they're
you'll
so
see,
low budget.
and it tells you that it could be that it is low budget, but it also could be this is what people want right now.
Oh,
You know
let's
what I
get
mean?
into
Yeah,
it.
I get it that it's low budget, but just because it's low budget doesn't mean it should make its money back.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? Night
If
Swim,
it's
I
a
don't think made
stinker,
its money back, did it?
I don't know
I
if
want to
it has
double
any
check, but
money.
that's all right. Doesn't matter. But I don't
Let's look at
think
the
so. But
first Omen. Let's see what it is. New summary. There we go. Box office. Opening weekend is 8 million. Oh, it doesn't always have the budget, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's continue on. So, Star Wars was at number 5. Unsung Hero, which is at number 6. And Godzilla X Kong is still at number 7. Kung Fu Panda 4 is number 8. Abigail's at number 9. And Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is at number 10. So yeah, sadly, The Fall Guy has not made its money back yet. So worldwide box office is 107 million, and I think it was 140 for the movie. It's still like fairly low budget, but if you factor in like the marketing and stuff, I don't think it's. I hope it does. Oh, 125. So I mean, it's getting closer. I hope word of mouth because it's a really good movie. Like I hope word of mouth people like talk about it and go see it. If you guys are into a good movie, I think it's probably one of the best ones out right now. And would you say that's better than Planets? Or Kingdom of the Apes?
Man, that's a tough one. I know. I don't know. They're both great movies, and I think they're both, in a different.
Good for different reasons.
Yeah, good for different reasons, exactly. So I wouldn't be able to tell you that. Like I would tell you to watch both because they were both awesome. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't choose one over the other. They're both great.
Go see them both. It's so funny you were telling me that you went to the movies and you're like looking at your wife. You're like, we should just get A-list.
Oh, I know, dude. I'm gonna get it for us. I think next pay period that I get, hopefully I make a little extra money. I've been working a little extra, so I'll buy us like 3 months of it, a gift card.
I saw it. Wasn't it like you can get a month now for $1 at AMC?
Not that I know of, brother. I mean, that's
99
random.
cents for a month of. Yeah, I think that's all. Look, yeah, A-list is now offering 1 month. Let me show you.
I feel like it's gonna be for people that are new,
Oh, you think it? Well, you could be
most
new.
likely. I'm not new. Well, I mean, if I make a new account and everything.
Yeah.
but then I lose all my points, my rewards.
It says get your first free month. Oh yeah, your first free. Okay, you have to be a new. But I mean, it's at 99 cents. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get into some of the news topics, dude. Ernie, I have to pull up the articles. Which one do you want to go? You go into first? Do
Guess whatever's on the list, down the freaking list, because there's a.
should we do Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you like the little picture of Jason Bourne?
Yeah.
I get it. Someone on Twitter put that in. I was dying. There was a bunch of them. That's not the only one. There's a few other ones because, well, I mean, you'll get into it and then I'll let you go. Go for it.
Wait, let me show. Let me show. Where is it? Right here. You see Gollum in the site. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so let me go through this. So in 2026, Warner Brothers is set to release A Hunt for Gollum, the newest edition of Lord of the Rings film series, focusing on the character Gollum, portrayed by Andy Serkis again. So he's going to be back reprising his role. He's also set to direct the film. The venture, under production of the original trilogy filmmaker Peter Jackson. Ooh, Peter Jackson's going to come back. Frank Walsh and Philippa Boyen marks an exploration of untold storylines within the iconic J.R.R. Tolkien universe. The announcement follows a February 2023 agreement by Warner Brothers Studios leaders Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi with Free Mode, part of the Embracer Group, for multiple film adaptations from Tolkien's books. So concurrently, Warner Brothers is also preparing to release an animated feature, Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim. Rohirrim. Is it Rohirrim? He says Rohirrim in the movie. The Battle of Rohirrim. Rohirrim will answer. Scheduled for December 2024, setting the stage for an enriched engagement with Tolkien's legendary Middle Earth. So, there's going to be two things. So is this a series? This is a film trilogy, I believe, right? They're going to do like three of these?
I believe it's going to be a few films, and I think one of them is going to be one of them is going to be Gollum, and then the War of Rothheim, like you said. What do I think?
That's an animated.
It kind of sounds like a cash grab, right? Like, I don't know if we need this. I think I was looking on Twitter, and I think I posted it on the show notes. Someone said this paragraph is about to become a 3-hour movie, and it's like one part of it where it's like Mirkwood. I brought him there. At last, I gave him to the elves. For we had agreed that this should be done, and I was glad to be rid of his company, for he stank. For my part, I hope you never get to look upon him again. But Gondalf came and endured the long speech with him. That's what essentially people are saying. That's what what it's going to be about. Like that particular moment, because in the
they're
book,
just taking that tiny paragraph in the book and trying to extrapolate it.
Exactly. And again, I mean, it sounds cash grabby, which, depending on how you see it, if you love Lord of the Rings, you like Ring of Powers, what they're doing with that, this could possibly be your thing. I'm down for more Lord of the Rings, but if they take care of the IP properly, right? Like, I think seeing Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyen's coming back to, to help with the film sounds awesome. Like, they're the originals of the, of the original trilogies of the Lord of the Rings, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's definitely foot in the right, or a foot in the right door. What is that? What is that saying I'm trying to say?
It's in the right direction, right?
It's in the right direction.
Headed in the right direction.
Headed in the right direction. Thank you, Jace. That's why I have you on the cast. But yeah, it's headed in the right direction to to make us more enticed to want to see something like this, because prior to this, we've gotten some great Lord of the Rings stuff. Like, I think The Hobbit was a great trilogy, and also was the Lord of the Rings, freaking 1, 2 Towers, Return of the King, awesome movies. Like, they stand the test of time. Like, they still are really great to watch. And so, like, getting a little bit more of that is awesome. But also, like I said, it just feels very cash grabby. Like, it's like, let me make more money after this. It's like, it's kind of like chipping, like what Bob Iger said. What is he mining the IP?
The IP, yeah. That's kind of what I feel as well, because when they started doing the Hobbits series, I was really excited too. But I was like, it's one book, and they're trying to drag it out for 3 movies. And I think there's a fan cut somewhere where they took all 3 of the movies and like shortened it down into like a single movie, and it plays much better. Like it's a lot better movie. Um, I I I, I love that Andy Serkis is coming back. I think he did a fantastic job as Gollum. He's that's pretty much kickstarted his whole career for the Apes movies. Right, he's like one of the best mocap actors of his time right now. Like he's anyone that learns mocap learns from him, right? Like he pretty much set the standard. Peter Jackson, it's hopeful, right? Because when he was doing the original trilogy, he wanted to be true to Tolkien's work, and I think Rings of Power shows you that they really didn't do that. I think if you look at the new trailer that just dropped for Rings of Power, it just looks like more of the same, right? It's like they're just making stuff up, and it's not
Yeah,
consistent with the lore.
no,
And I think
definitely. And I think that's the
Lord of the
bad
Rings
thing, right?
has, yeah, dude. Lord of the Rings has such a fan base, and it's because of the lore. It's because of what Tolkien crafted. And I think when you that part that I didn't know, right? When you said that they're just taking like a little excerpt from the book and they're trying to expand on it. I don't know how do
It,
you do that, right? He has nothing to honor. Like
yeah.
there's no source
There,
material in this case.
I mean, that little excerpt I read you is just like one part of it. There's like another little thing where it's a little longer,
Mm,
but it's basic. It's with Aragon, and it's like it's a little longer, but it's just a paragraph. That was just a little like sentence that I read to you guys. Like the rest of it is like there's little need to tell of them, said Aragon. If a man must needs walk in sight of the black gate or tread the deadly flowers of Morgul Vale, then perils he will have. And it keeps going. And this is essentially what they're taking and what I read to you. There's a little bit
mm.
more, but I'm not going to read the whole freaking page for you guys. But if it's still, it's not a lot for them to
Yeah,
take. For
it's
them
not
to
a
take,
trilogy's worth of content, basically.
definitely not. And I think they're going to add things that aren't part of the lore and maybe, I don't know, fix it in some way where they're going to make it like if it is the lore. I don't know. That's the thing. Because like Rings of Power, if y'all haven't watched it, Saruman. They brought out a second trailer. Did you guys watch that? If you guys haven't watched the second trailer, go watch the second trailer. Saruman comes out
With
and
his
he
wig.
puts on a wig and it's like he's like, that's not Saruman anymore.
And they're like, who is this guy?
Galadriel, dude, the one who knows it all. Can't tell. It's just like, who's this guy? And then they change up the rings, like the way the rings are created, because they create the lesser rings, right? The doors
Right,
and all this
they're
stuff,
supposed to yeah.
and then
The
there's
lesser rings are supposed to be first, right? Because
yeah,
that
and then yeah, exactly. And then I think the person who comes up with the forge is, oh man, I forget his name right now. They mention him, and in this one they make it look like Galadriel was the one who essentially came up with we need to make three.
oh my
And it's like
gosh.
because one because one will be manipulated,
Oh,
two,
right, right, right.
or whatever, like
2, there will be
three.
conflict, but
It's like there'll be
3.
balance or whatever. And I was like, Jesus.
They just don't respect it, man. Yeah.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the respect. I think it's just to. I mean, I think it's just to make money, right? It's like this is what's cool to have this, like a female empowerment, so people can like see that and like, I guess it is disrespect. Never mind.
Well, I mean, it's like it's everything, right? Like it's not going back to the original source material. It's trying to insert your own, thoughts and opinions, and it's like you're telling a Lord of the Rings story. You need to be like seeped in Lord of the Rings, like if you're gonna do this. And I mean, that's the only part that gives me hope for Peter Jackson's version of this new Hunt for Golem, right? It's like he, at least when he did the original trilogy, he was wanting to be as true to the source material as possible. Like everybody quotes it, right? They have a quote of him talking about, we didn't want to insert any of us, right? We wanted to just tell the story as it was written on the page as close as possible.
I mean, he does, but I mean, in The Hobbit, he still took liberties, right? They added the love affair between
Right.
the elf and the freaking dwarf. That's not in the book. You know what
Right.
I mean? So they do it, but it's like,
That's why I feel like it is going to be cash grabby, right? Like it's like, why do we need to tell more I don't know. I don't know. It's it's something that's always interesting because obviously people there's a desire for more Lord of the Rings because people still love the games. People like they keep making new games. People still play the games,
I don't know.
even though
I've,
the Golem was terrible, right? Everybody said
I
Golem was
was about
terrible,
to say I don't think anyone played that thing, dude. That was really bad.
but the other one, the Battle of Helm's Deep or whatever that came out, there was a
No, I don't know. It was like an iOS game, I'm assuming, or what?
yeah, there was a PC game where you could kind of go through the battle and like obviously there's a appetite for Middle Earth because of the what was created before, but I just feel like I don't know, bro. I feel like it's done. It's kind of like what happened with Star Wars, right? Because they went in such a tangent and they didn't have any more source material. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm very this one's kind of middle of the road for me. I'm very skeptical.
I'm lukewarm about it at the
Yeah.
moment, but I'm also like I like what I'm seeing so far in terms of like who's involved. I think
Yeah.
that I think that's we could both agree on that, but it's just like I'm still thinking like, do we really need this? Like, what are they gonna add? And again, I'm not a diehard Lord of the Rings fan, like where I've like read like all the books and know everything. You know what I mean? I've read The Hobbit, but like and Two Towers. I don't know why didn't read the other ones, but I did, and they're awesome books. But like, I know someone's gonna get pissed off about this because I like they have scholars for this. You know, like they have
Yeah.
people who like teach classes on his work on
Yeah,
Tolkien's
you can
work.
get a degree
You can get
in Tolkien.
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't get a degree with Star Wars. You don't get a degree with Marvel character. There's no such thing. This is the only fandom I've ever seen where they'll die on the hill. Like they don't like take crap, and you could tell
Right.
because the downvotes on the Rings of Power season 2 trailer. Go look at the downvotes if you can see them somehow. Get that plugin, that YouTube plugin, and it's bad.
Oh
It's
yeah, it's
like
ratioed.
bad because it's ratioed bad because they freaking don't. They're not listening. You know, they're doing their own thing, and what I mean, you know. But I
Yeah.
digress, my friend.
I was just gonna say like the I lost my moment, but like I was thinking that the Andy Serkis is really great in the character, but the character needs a story, right? Like you can't just have him show up for whatever reason, just for that, because then it's it's just more of the same. Like what we're
You
getting is
know,
like the mining of the IP, and I think, dude, the thing that drives me nuts is that everyone is always saying we want original content, we want original stories, and then we get the Fall Guy, which was original, right? It was, I mean, yes, it was based on a TV series, but like the story, it was original, and it's not doing well. And then we're gonna get If. I hope If does well, but people are
it's
saying
not
that
doing well at
it's
all.
not having good reviews, right? It hasn't come out yet, but like the initial reactions, people are saying it's not that great. But dude,
Yeah.
these are people that are swinging with original stories, and like, dude, if you want more of that, you need to go support it. Like, go out and vote with your wallets, right? Say,
Yeah, but man, now you're gonna vote for something that's not good.
yes. You're
You
like,
know what I
first it
mean?
has to be good.
Like
Yeah,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like I agree. I always tell you guys vote with your wallet. Like when Sonic, I forget what it's called, Sonic Mania had come out for the
yeah.
Nintendo Switch. It was like created by fans, and it was a Sonic game that was awesome, and it's a great game. I told my wife I got to go buy this game. I got to support them, and I did. And they're doing more games. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
You know what
that's
though?
just
What gives me hope though about If? So like, it hasn't come out yet, but the critics 96% have given it a 54% overall. So you look at it and you say, oh, it's not that great. But somebody pointed out, like, if you look at the Mario Brothers movie, the that one was also in the 50s, but audiences loved it. So maybe there's a chance that audiences love
I hope
If.
so, dude. I hope so. I mean, it looks fun to me, but I don't know if like it doesn't look like I want to watch it. Like it's not like on my list. My wife's like, "This looks dumb," and I'm like, I mean, I would watch it.
I
So
want to watch
maybe
it.
I'll
I
probably
want to
check
at
it out.
least.
But yeah, I don't know. I hope it
We'll
doesn't.
see. Yeah. Although Furious is getting a good review, so
Dun, 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 dun.
ooh, is the finale out for X-Men 97? Is that today or tomorrow? Is it today? I think it comes out today. Dude, I'm excited, bro. Have you been caught up with that? X-Men 97 is like the one Marvel thing that Disney's put out right now that's actually like really good.
I have not. I know that they hired the guy who did Marvel or X-Men 97, the guy that's doing it. I think they were trying to hire him to do something in the live action space. But also I think he's going under some scrutiny for some sort of like
Didn't they fire him? Like, didn't
yeah,
they
that's what I'm
take
saying.
him
I
off?
don't know. I had to double check because I don't remember, but I know he was like something had happened with like it was like man sexual harassment or something like that. I don't want to lead you guys
What?
astray. You remember this, right? I had sent it to you a
No.
long time ago as an article, but I don't remember it now. Doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's move on. You're gonna write it. You're gonna write a sexual.
Oh, why he got fired?
Yeah. Oh, it tells you why he
Uh,
got fired.
he wrote Disney Plus series about why is he fired? He said, uh, suddenly fired from our studios, continued to promote X Men. I don't know. I have to read more into it. Oh, uh, some OnlyFans account. I guess he had an OnlyFans account.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just reading the article like right now. Like I haven't confirmed
That's
it,
all right.
but
We'll talk about it next time we kind of get into it because this is fresh off the presses. I remember hearing about it. But let's
all
get
right.
into the next bit of news, dude. Let's talk about the Cage-a-sons, my friend.
The Nicolas Cage songs, dude. Okay, let's get into it. You want to read it? Oh, I can read it. Let's see.
Please.
Nicolas Cage is set to star in a live-action series Noir, reprising his role as Spider-Man Noir, which he originally voiced in the animated hit Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The series, ordered by MGM Plus and Amazon Prime Studios, will debut on MGM's linear channel before launching globally onto the Prime Video streaming service. Set in the 1930s New York, the series follows an aging private investigator and former superhero as he confronts his past. The project is a collaboration between Sony Pictures Television and MGM Studios, with notable producers Philip Lord and Chris Miller and Amy Pascal, who were part of the Into the Spider Verse, that's the original team, right? Um, this marks the Cage. The Cage. This marks Cage's first regular television role, adding to his illustrious film career. Is this his very first? Whoa, very first television role, adding to his illustrious career of Academy Award winnings for Leaving Las Vegas and nominations for other major roles. The series is set to expand the Marvel universe into a new and exciting direction. So, Ernie, what are your thoughts on this Cage songs?
This is fun, man. I'm excited for this. I love this character in Into the Spider-Verse. I feel like what is the picture you have? Oh, there it is.
There you go. I don't know why I flipped to the other one.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I think it's definitely going to be something fun. I think Nick Cage played the character really well, and it's like he doesn't really have to add a lot to that character in terms of like, you know, I don't know how to explain this. Like he could be Nicolas Cage.
It's just
Does that
him,
make
right?
sense? You know, he could just
Yeah.
be himself. And I think it works. Like that quirkiness in that character when you watch it, like he's like depressed. Do you remember it in Night Into Spider Verse? Like he's like a
He's
depressed
black and
noir. Like
white.
yeah,
I
he's
thought
black
he
and
was
white.
playing it like he's just black and white. Just like,
Exactly, and it worked really well, and I'm hoping that they do something like that. I really, really want this, Jace, and I know they're not going to, but I want them to film this like Sin City. Do you
I know
remember Sin
that's what
City?
you picture, right? That's
That's
what
what
I
I'm
pictured.
imagining, and I'm hoping they do that. That or that movie
They have
Spirited,
to.
which was not a good movie, but
It was that same
um,
style though,
it
that
was that
film
same
noir
style, dude.
style.
But man, dude, if they do Sin City, dude, I'm in. I'm still in, but it would be so much cooler, right? Like having
Yeah,
that
I feel like they
style.
have to for multiple reasons, right? First, it's the style that they set up for the Spider Verse, but secondly, Nicolas Cage is getting up there in years, and like this would be a great way to kind of characterize or like smooth out them wrinkles, right? Like if they did in Sin City, they can make it look really good and
But
like
he's
kind of
supposed
touch
to
it up.
be like aged, right? Like that's the point of it. Like
Yeah, true, but
he's
it
an
could be
age,
more
so he's supposed to
stylized
look
days.
like
You don't want
yeah.
him to look like
No,
like
I
freaking
get
Harrison
it.
Ford and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, yeah. I
Grumpy
think
old Nicolas
that's the
Cage.
thing is like they have to play the part, the look of the part. Like I don't know, that sounded weird, but they have to like make what they have in the movie. Like they have this older guy, make him older in the movie. Like obviously an old man is not going to be jumping around, You know what I mean? All crazy, and I think that's what they should definitely like dive into more. And I have like, man, there's so many cool like stories like that where they play an older character. Like for instance, like me and you would love this too. Like an older Bruce Wayne
Mm.
that's taking care of Terry McGinnis. Remember that we talked about this?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome, dude. Seeing and like we had that with Kevin Conroy, or is that the original voice actor for
Yeah.
Batman? Yeah, Kevin Conroy when he came out and he came out in this show called Batgirl and they made him a villain. And I was like, man, this is such a miss. And they just, oh gosh, they're so dumb. But whatever. So like they could lean into that and like really go on it, like that he's an older guy and he's like a retired Spider-Man. He's like doesn't want to do this anymore because it never was fulfilling. You know what? Like they could do a lot of cool stuff here, but like they definitely need to do that Sin City art style, dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah, dude. I agree. I agree. I think they could do a lot with this character. I think it just fits Nicolas Cage so well, dude. When he came out in the first movie, like that was one of the he stole a lot of the show, right? Like when he was on screen, like everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy." The fact that they're doing a live action is really cool. I always thought they were gonna do like a series that was just like a spin-off animated. That's crazy. He has never done. I mean, according to the article, I didn't know he's never done TV before. So
So it's funny because we talked about this before. Like a lot of actors, like in his time, like Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, those people, they don't do TV because back then it was looked at as a bad thing. Remember, like straight to VHS or whatever. And now, like Schwarzenegger just dropped a Netflix show.
mhm.
He's doing this. You know what I
Stallone has
mean?
a
Like,
reality show.
yeah, exactly. So it's like it's like they're going away from it because this is the new wave like of things, and it doesn't look bad anymore. It's not like going on Dancing with the Stars. You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah.
go there, you're a has been sort of thing. That's I'm not saying they are, but I'm just saying people say that's a thing. You
No,
become a
dude. If you look at the numbers, bro, movies are declining, right? Like the theaters are declining. We haven't had a billion-dollar movie this year, and it's like halfway into the year, right? Like, it's like been
oh, we haven't
six,
gotten
5 months, right?
Oppenheimer, Barbie.
Yeah, there hasn't been a huge movie, and like everything that you see that the people are talking about, Shogun, people are talking about, House of the Dragon. Like these are all series, right? Everyone's like that's their bread and butter now. They go home and they want to watch a series. They want to follow along with the character, and like I think it's just a sign of the times, man. Like it's just changing, right? Like we
Yeah,
said, like times is changing, and I think this kind of just goes along with that, right? He knows that he's gonna have a lot more eyeballs on this. I think, especially Prime Video, dude. A lot of people watch Prime because they already have their Amazon subscription. But all right, let's get into the next one.
what
Do you have
about
any other
Dune 2? What did that make?
Dune
That
2?
came out this year, yeah.
It made quite a bit. Didn't make a billion though, I don't think.
Okay.
Dune
I'm gonna look it
2.
up right now. Man, I
The
don't know what the
number.
heck is going on with this.
I'm gonna
It made
guess
$705 or 700. So yeah, seven.
$750 million worldwide. 750 or 710. Sorry,
Yeah,
710.
yeah.
Yeah,
So you're right, not a billion.
not a billion. Not yet. But who could make the billion? I'm trying to think what movie that comes out this year that could make the billion. Probably Deadpool. I'm thinking Deadpool will make the billion. That's gonna be huge. Okay, let's get into the Disney news, guys. Oh, I'm sorry for this constant pop up. Disney and Fox and Warner Brother Discovery have announced the launch of their new sports streaming service named Venue Sports, set to debut in fall 2024. Oh, that's coming up. The service collaborate. The service is a collaborative effort to reach consumers outside of the traditional pay television ecosystem, and will consolidate live sports streaming under one platform. So this is like their sports answer to live sports. So Venue Sports will integrate offerings from ESPN Plus along with live sports from other networks on linear TV channels such as ABC, ESPN, Fox Sports, and more. Oh, they own so much. They own all those. Spearheaded by Peter Distad, the former Apple executive, the service aims to deliver a premium experience built with cutting edge technology. Although eagerly anticipated, Venue Sports awaits regulatory approval and faces legal and competitive scrutiny. particularly regarding the concerns over potential anti-competitive impacts. Well, yeah, because they like own so much, and higher consumer prices. Platform will be accessible via the dedicated app, so it's not going to be bundled with Disney Plus or Hulu. It looks like the platform will be an option bundled with Disney Hulu, but it's not going to be in the same app. Reflecting the strategy to enhance connectivity and viewer engagement across diverse sporting venues. Interesting. So this is like their answer to TV, right? Like they're trying to get as many people off of cable as possible, and that's like the last. Dude, they need. You know what they need?
You know, it's funny that you say that they're trying to get the people. Go look at the picture that I have on my on the Google Doc on that you were reading. Go look at that picture. Post it up on here so that people can see it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Here, let me scroll down. Oh no, why did it go there? Oh, here we go. The picture is somehow cable TV returned.
I saw that.
That's awesome, dude. It's funny because it's true, right? Like they're trying to get as many people off of cable, but at the same time they're just creating cable. Like it's just the same thing.
Well, we talked about this, right? It wasn't a viable option to continue to give you streaming services. Like it just doesn't make sense. So they want to get you everywhere they can to continue to like make money off of you. If they can make $60, $80 off of you, like a cable package, they're gonna make more money than they would had you just paid $10 for a free ad version of whatever they're giving you. And it's crazy because there's so much backlash to this, which I didn't think was gonna be a thing, but like people are like, I'm gonna pirate. I'm gonna pirate this. I'm gonna pirate that because there are websites where you can essentially watch everything under the sun here.
Yeah,
You
you
know
can
what I
watch
mean?
it, and you can watch it live, right? Like they'll
Yeah,
stream
you
it
can
live. Yeah.
exactly, and it's all there, and it's like them going into business with everyone. It sounds like a great deal. Like if I'm gonna as a subscriber of most of these, if I'm gonna pay less to have it all bundled, might as well get the bundle, right? But they need to make it enticing, and I think that one of the things I had written on my notes a while ago, dude, Jason, I was like, why did I write this? Like, what was my mindset of like having this freaking written down? And I'm trying to find it exactly. I put live service and subscriptions together, and this was before this was announced. I wrote
Uh,
this. I wrote this. Was this announced? Do you know when this? What did this say?
this was when was this article? Oh, May 8th.
May 8th.
So last week, 8
Okay,
days ago.
so I wrote this on May 5th.
Oh, you had a premonition,
I
bro.
had a
You were like,
premonition about it. I think it's because we were talking about it with one of the cast, Lex. And I remember, well, I mean, I saw it somewhere else and they were probably announced it sooner. But I remember just thinking that because we were talking about, it was when you were talking to me about Netflix. Do you remember you talked to me about Netflix having that live stream, right? Do you remember this?
oh yeah,
You
there's
texting me, it's living or whatever. And I'm like, didn't they do this already? And that's when I had written it. And I was like, dude, this is all like what they're trying to do. They're trying to entice you to their service by giving you live events that you will not be able to get anywhere else.
oh yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what Netflix is trying. Yeah,
And it
like they
makes
did that
sense.
with the roast of what's his name,
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, right? Like they had a live event where you could like tune in at a certain time and watch it, and then they also did that with that other stand up dude. What's his name?
John Mulaney.
Well, did it? Yeah, oh yeah, they did it with John Mulaney and then another one just recently, but I forget his name.
I don't recall, but
Um,
it's
yeah, that's what they're doing, basically live
yeah,
events.
it's live events, and it's interesting because like either you're gonna love these things or you're gonna hate them and not even watch them. But I think having both is essentially like you decide if you want it or not. Like you don't have to have this. I think
Right, but
go ahead.
dude, the crazy thing is how many sports channels freaking Disney owns.
Did you be surprised people who love sports how much of
Oh
that
yeah, they have to watch it.
they have it? Yeah,
They
it's
follow it.
crazy.
They have the apps, the stats. Like if you're
Oh
a
yeah,
NBA fan, right? You have the NBA Live app, and dude, it's a
that's
thing,
crazy.
right? People
Yeah,
love
like
following along.
I just got into. I'm getting into football now, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get into fantasy football with a couple of buddies of mine, and we're gonna do it soonish.
Oh,
And
you're
and they
getting
were
stuck into that.
and yeah, I wanted to get it because I'm like,
Fun.
man, I got to be that dad, right? Like being I know
Football dad.
you've met dads that like they don't talk about anything other than sports. I was like that's like their thing. So I'm like, dude, being a dad, I have to do this. Like I have to do
You're
my
like,
due
I want to be
diligence.
that guy.
I need to be the guy that knows his stuff about football. So I started watching sports. I picked the team and everything, or I started watching football, picked the team and everything. And I told my wife, I'm like, we're gonna be a family of this and all that stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fine, whatever. She doesn't care. And so we watched. The first thing I did was watch the Super Bowl that had just happened not long ago, and I was chilling, eating Cool Ranch chips with my daughter, and my daughter was just with me, and it was like I was like, oh my gosh, this is what those dudes do, just chill and watch and drink. And I was drinking, watching, and I was like, man, I got to get into football, dude. So yeah, so long story
Dang,
short,
there we go. There we go.
I talked to a couple buddies of mine, and they were telling me like, hey, have you heard of Red Zone? And I'm like, what is even that? It's like a Netflix for like sports events. And
Oh,
essentially what it does, and this is kind of cool, when there's a commercial break, it switches to the other game. That way you're always watching a game.
oh wow,
Isn't that funny, dude? Isn't that
that's crazy.
crazy? Isn't that wild, dude?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy to, and I'm like that they're on another level. Dude, sports people are on another level of watching things. It's wild. That's
Hmm.
neither here nor there. I just wanted to bring that up to you.
That's crazy that you're getting in sports, dude. I mean, sports is fun with a group of people for sure. Like, I think that's part of the fun of it is the camaraderie, right? Like, if you get a good group of people that are like all into it, especially even like I've worked in offices, right, where they do like the fantasy football or like the draft picks for like what's it called, the NBA playoffs, whatever. It's fun stuff. It's fun. Um, but yeah, dude, this is surprising. Like I was thinking when I was reading this article, I was like, dude, they could just turn off ABC, ESPN, like all the actual channels, and then what would you do? Like, imagine if they just decided, we're not gonna live stream any of the sports on ABC or Fox Sports or ESPN. We're just not gonna do it anymore.
I
If
mean,
you want to watch it, you got to go
yeah,
to the bundle. Like,
yeah.
imagine they could.
No, they'll do it, and
People will pay money because they
they need to
like.
watch
How
it.
else are you gonna watch it? Yeah, they
Yeah,
need to watch it.
yeah, but it's crazy. And I was telling you about the fantasy league football, and I was like, well, I guess people watch it, because they love the sports or whatever. But no, it's like the gambling of it too.
It's the
Like
gambling,
you
the
gamble,
stakes.
like people
Yeah,
gamble, and that's why you see a lot of people on their phone seeing the stats, seeing these things because I'm like they have money on it. And I
right.
was talking to my buddy, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna bet like $55 or something on fantasy league," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm down." And I'm like, "It's just $50." And then he's like, "It's gonna get fun, trust me." Once you start to see and you're like making money or seeing this thing, I'm like, "Holy cow!" Like,
Yeah, you're
it's
gonna
just
get sucked
it's
in.
like you're gonna get sucked in. But I'm like, that sounds fun with buddies, But I wouldn't go with like just randos. Like that just doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more fun with people. It's funny, dude. I mean, it's gambling, right? So it's addictive, dude. We're playing. There's a casino on the cruise ship that we went on, and my wife put in $1 in one of these little slot machines because she had like extra leftover change, dude. And she's like, I just want to put my money in it, and she's like, I just want to see what happens. And I was on like another machine, and all of a sudden I hear this ding 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 ding. Dude, she won like a good like $50 with a
Nice.
dollar. That was crazy.
And they're like, keep going.
No, that's
Ding.
the thing. That's the thing is like immediately she wanted to start like playing more, and I'm like, no, cash out right now. That's the best you're gonna get. Well, I mean, she
You
she really
never
wanted to
know,
play.
but yeah,
She really
because
wanted to play. So I was like, what you should do is you should just bank like $40 and then play with the leftover $10.
yeah.
She was a little mad that I was like suggesting it though. I think she wanted to put all that money back in the machine.
I mean, she could have, but she would have lost it for
She
sure.
could have.
That's the thing. That's the gamble. That's the gamble.
That's
Like you
the
don't know.
addiction,
Like
right? That's the hook.
when I had my bachelor party, we went to Vegas, and I put 50 on red, like to start the day. Like we're gonna start it like this because we
Oh,
got to the
nice.
hotel when I was
50-50.
let's put 50 on it, or yeah, and I made that money. So and I
Nice.
made it back. I had $100. We went out, drank. You know what I mean? Like it
There
started
you
the
go.
night. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
what
that's
they
how you
started
do
it.
it. You go to Vegas,
Yeah.
you're gonna do that. That's neither here nor there. Continue, my friend. I apologize for the rant.
No, that's all I had. Dude, I have to talk about this crazy thing that I read, and I don't know if it's true. And have you heard about this? Um I was trying to find an article for it, but the movie that's coming out called Megalopolis.
Megalomaniac, the
No,
Incubus song. Oh,
Megaopolis
yeah. What
with
about it?
this one with it's Francis Ford Coppola's new movie with
Yeah.
Adam Driver, right? Supposedly, no, this is a rumor, but I was reading people were saying that this movie when they premiered it or they like showed it at the film festival, right? That there's a part in the movie that requires a live actor. Like that he comes out and he talks to the screen and like it's part of the movie to like sell a certain effect. And I'm like, how is he gonna sell this movie? How's he gonna put this movie in theaters? Are they gonna hire like somebody in the
One of the
theaters are gonna
AMC
have to
kids.
one of the AMC guys is gonna have to run in every
Uh,
time? Like did you ever go to Mickey Mouse's the ride at Disneyland? The new Mickey
yeah.
Mouse ride? There's a part at the beginning, right? The intro where he's gotta
Mhm.
talk to the screen. And that's what it's gonna have to be like. Like I don't see AMC kids doing this. But like imagine. I would be
That's
down.
gonna be interesting. I think the big thing about movies, and I think video games is doing now, is interactivity. And I think they try to do that with like Netflix shows such like Black Mirror, where you choose
Mm.
your own adventure, and or like that Bear Grylls show where like you can choose where to go, or he's gonna get bit by a snake or whatever. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like you choose your own adventure sort of thing. And I think like movies are trying to get to that, but it's just gonna be very interesting to see if it can be that, because it does need some way for you to interact. And I
Right.
don't know how they're gonna, like you said, how they're gonna have that guy everywhere, every film. You know what I mean? That just doesn't
Right.
make sense to do it. But
And then
uh,
imagine like on like the Blu-ray, like they're gonna sell a Blu-ray, and it's like there's
and the
gonna be
guy's gonna
this
come with
random
you.
part where there's no guy.
Maybe it's gonna be us. Somehow
It'll
we
say,
are the person doing it. It's
"Oh,
gonna be
it'll
a
come
look to
with
the
like a little script card,"
yeah.
and
It's
then
like yeah.
every time you want to
It's
watch it,
like
somebody has to
look to the person next to you and tell them this, and then you're gonna tell them, "I'm Meganopolis, Megan, whatever it's
make a
called."
make a laugh. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think it's clever, but would it get you into the theater? I don't know. The
I don't
trailer looks
even.
interesting. Do you see the clip?
I haven't actually seen it at all. I
There's
know
like a
what it is, but
cool.
I haven't watched any of this.
Yeah, I liked the clip. It was like a little like I don't know, first look or whatever, but there's a point where he's like on this building and he's gonna step off and he says it's like time stop or something and like everything stops and like he doesn't fall and he's like standing in midair and like I don't know, it's cool. It looks like it's gonna play with time and Francis Ford Coppola, bro, like he's swinging for the fences for this one, I think. Um, okay, let's get into the next topic. I apologize. I just had to bring that up because I'd never heard that confirmed, but like imagine like if you needed somebody to be like, hey, hey, Adam Driver, I have a little script I got to read. Okay, so this one is, dude, Ernie, we're almost done of our topics, but I think we should do two more. Let's do this
Yeah,
one and
just
the
just
next.
just do this one and one last one. We'll talk about Doctor Who, because I kind of want to just get into that really quick. So, well, we'll get into this one. Go for it.
Well, we can go fast with this one.
Yeah,
Do
go
you
for
want
it.
to? Okay, it says movies with big stars are finding it harder to get deals to show. Are finding it harder to get deals to shows in the U.S. theaters. One reason is that deals to show movies on TV or streaming services after they are in theaters aren't as common anymore. Distributors now need to find separate partners for each movie, and that can slow things down. Since COVID pandemic, fewer people are going back to the movies regularly. That we talked about that. That's true, especially for the serious dramas and the comedies, dude. There's no like romantic comedies anymore. People might be less interested in watching tough stories right now because we've all just been through a lot. Also, while movies with good stories or famous actors can still attract attention, films that fit into specific genres like horror might do better. For example, recent horror movies made a lot more money than expected, despite having any big stars. This shows that the audience might be more interested in certain types of movies right now, which is changing what kind of films get pegged for distribution. So this is going back to what you're saying, Ernie, right? Like the horror movies. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, I mean, what I got off the article, and this is like basically my own interpretation of it, is that they're choosing movies that are, like you said, low budget, but are still going to do well in the box office. And I think, like you said, one of the big things about horror movies and what I respect, and I think you probably do or think the same, is that they do so much with such a low budget, right? They're able to, just use like the budget of like 50 million to create this movie that is in one location, and it has a beginning, a middle, a end, and it has either a new actor or a good actor, like there's like these variables to creating a movie, right? And it's either a hit or miss, but most have been doing really well, and it's because they've hit a niche with most audiences now, right? And I think you were talking about people feeling more dire and anxiety, and that could be a cause of why horror films have spiked in the past couple of years, or the past couple of years, right? That we've been
Mhm.
seeing. And I think big stars and independent films probably cost too much and aren't the ones that people want to see in theaters. You know what I mean? And it's showing that. I don't know. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because thought it was interesting, especially the part about the horror films, because I know you're not the biggest fan, but
No, I think it's true because I think there's a built-in audience for horror. First of all, like you show a trailer with the the scary like and like there's certain trailers, right? Everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna watch this movie. It's hitting all the sounds, all the effects, but um, I do think it's interesting because, like you said, it is lower budget, um, but they have a higher chance to make their money back, right? And I think we're gonna see kind of a new sprouting of because like you read a lot of these articles, and I think one of the articles I was gonna post early on, but we just for time's sake, if you just look at like dude, this is Newsweek, right? It says both Hollywood and streaming giants are killing films and culture, but film, right? Because
and culture.
just like a little dash and culture opinion. um, but like this is coming out a lot more where people are saying it's harder and harder to make a big like movie that's not either a high like popcorn blockbuster movie or something that's a prequel or a sequel that's a sure thing, right? Like people are a lot more hesitant to come out with a rom com or a drama, right? Because like people are not going to go to the theater because like and if you look at also the ticket sales, everyone's buying IMAX Dolby premium screen. Like they're not going to the basic showings anymore as much as they used to. Used to be like you would just
I beg to
go.
differ, dude. I do.
You're the one. You're the guy. But like overall, people are wanting to see the high IMAX. Like something that's different than their television, right? Because they can stream so much nowadays that it has to be an experience, right? You're gonna go
Absolutely.
because you're gonna get like Furiosa. I think will do really well because it's just gonna be high octane action, like nonstop action and big old screens. It's gonna be selling on those high. Dude, I was mad when I went to go watch Fall Guy that it was only in IMAX for like a week, and then it switched over to Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I was like, I want to see this in IMAX. Like that's how
Yeah, it would
much
have
I'm
been really great.
see, and you're like it's worth it in IMAX.
Yeah, it's worth it.
So
I saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on Dolby, and my freaking chair was vibrating, dude.
the
It's wild.
monkeys were riding. Yeah, that
Yeah,
dude.
when they're riding the horse. Dude, I told my wife, I was like, dude, my favorite thing of Planet of the Apes, any of those films, is when the monkeys ride the horses. Like I love that. It
Oh
looks
yeah,
so
dude.
cool to me.
It looks
Like I
cool.
freaking love that. And as soon as I saw the horse being ridden by the monkeys, I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, see that? Look.
And
But
they were also doing it like in real life too, weren't they? Like
yeah,
riding it
at
through the
Venice
sand at the
Beach,
beaches and
we
stuff.
were
Yeah.
talking about that last time. Yeah, it's wild.
But getting back to like the horror movies, right? It is a lot lower budget, and I think there is something to be said about like the culture, right? Like there are a lot of stress that just comes with living in America right now. Like prices are higher, everything, and it's kind of nice to see something that's like it's a little morbid, but it's like something that's worse off than you, right? And like you don't have to like stress out like, oh, at least I'm not being attacked by demon zombies or whatever. Like there's kind of
Demon zombies.
I mean, that's the next one, dude.
That's dude. Someone's gonna hear that, clip that, and they're gonna freaking take that idea.
We haven't had demon zombies yet. Just take whatever like scary thing and add demon and add zombie, and then you're good. But well, the last thing I was gonna say was uh, there's also the marketing for horror movies is a lot easier too because there's a formula, right? To kind of like set up a good trailer for a horror movie. you can kind of tell like, okay, this is going to be one of those types of movies. But did you see the strangers?
Yeah,
That
the
they're
marketing.
trying to do the marketing
Yeah,
where they're
it's
see the
creepy, bro.
so
It's so
people are
random.
actors are standing outside of like the cameras, like for like the ring cameras, like they're standing and like getting like creepy like shots of people just standing there like the strangers are coming.
It's
It's
so funny, bro.
easy, right? That's such easy marketing. Like it's so
Yeah,
cheap for them, but
it is.
it's harder and harder to do viral marketing though now because like you said, like they just did the apes on the horses in the sand at the beach, so it's like not as novel, right? It's like okay, they're trying to promote it. I mean, it's clever.
Well,
I thought it
well,
was
the
clever with the ring cameras, but
advertising is so different from what it once was because now we have influencers, right? And I think seeing the rise of the internet and Instagram and all those things is so different. So they have to combat that, right? Like now you get people, the Rings of Powers, who are, man, I forget what they're called, super fans, right? For the Rings of
oh,
Power, and they get this round table of people. They're like, my girl Galadriel, and it's like I don't know who she is, but I'm sure people know of her.
but those are paid
But
actors,
those
dude.
are
Those are
paid
paid.
yeah, they're paid people. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't know. But they look like they've been paid to say what they're saying. But obviously, we don't know. I mean, they probably love everything they see. Um, but that's the thing. You get that like opinion sways a lot of the time, especially when you start getting money and or like some sort of free like movie experience because you're loving Marvel, right? Like that guy that goes, "Let's go," or whatever, and he's like yelling like that. I don't know why I did
Oh yeah, yeah.
the little car noise or whatever.
The trill at the
I
end.
don't know why, but like he does that, and he's able to go to these red carpet things.
Dude, speaking of, there was a TikTok. This and it's that same guy, right? And he's saying how If was such a good movie or whatever, right? And at the end of it, there's a little tag that says buy your tickets. He's paid. He's paid to do it.
Yeah, it's a paid promotion. I don't know why you guys. I don't. I'm not saying most of you guys do. I don't know why you guys don't see that they're getting paid. Again, it
Yeah,
might not sway their opinion, but for the most part, it's swaying their dang opinion. Like this isn't. They're getting essentially a free freaking movie and a free buttered popcorn, free back rub. You don't even know.
yeah.
And so when they're watching the movie, they're watching it far different than you are.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? And then they'll give you this. And I'm sorry, and I'm going on a rant because I really don't like this, but they give you this little explanation where they're like, and they did pay for my ticket to go see this movie, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna go watch it and pay for it when it comes out.
Yeah,
What the hell
yeah.
does that? Well, I'm sorry, I know that was me, but I was like, what does that even mean? Okay, yeah, you're gonna go waste money. Like your
Right.
opinion's already swayed, dude. Like
Yeah, it's like why do I even listen
why
to
would I
you at
trust
that
you?
point? Yeah,
But
why would I
again,
trust
it's
you?
hard because most YouTubers are like that, and there's nothing wrong with getting your money. Get your money. Like I'm hoping like freaking Bob Iger comes down, dude, and freaking hits me up and tells me, "Hey, dude, come watch Captain Marvel 3." And I'll be like, "That was the greatest movie I've ever seen." I'm just kidding. He's not gonna
I mean,
buy
I'll
my
watch
ticket.
it, but I'll tell you. I'll
I'll
tell
tell
you
you.
was if it's good or not.
I'll tell you the honest truth. I usually, you guys, I mean, friends of the cast. If you've been listening to me for the longest, and Jason doesn't get mad at me, but he gets a little bothered. I'll always try to look at the both sides of a movie, even if it's really bad and I dislike it. I've talked about the Matrix 4. We always talk about the Matrix 4, but I talk about that movie and I could see some good stuff in it, but I dislike that movie a lot. And I'll tell you both things. And that's what you
Right.
want. You want someone that's going to give you the common ground. I don't think people yelling through the roof that this is the greatest movie or people yelling through the roof that this is the worst movie they've ever seen. Those are like the kind of guys that are like they sold. There's they sell what they're doing, and I can't do that. I just
Ernie
can't.
will always say, "What was it?" You're always like, "It's not a bad movie."
It's not a bad movie.
That's what he.
It's not. But you know what I mean? Like
The
there
movie.
is
What was it? The one that we were talking about this week, and like it hadn't
Tomb
even come
Raider.
out yet,
It was
and I was
Tomb
like, he's
Raider.
gonna say it's not a bad movie.
It was Tomb Raider. It was Tomb
It's
Raider
Tomb Raider. Oh,
she's
that's
getting
right.
that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is working on the series, and I said, "Let's go." I was messing around
I
because
was like,
obviously,
no. Oh, you're trolling me. I was
yeah,
like,
because I was trolling because I was like,
no.
we don't want like we don't. I dude, I mean, I like see Phoebe Waller-Bridge was really bad in Indiana Jones. Like I did not like her at all. I think
It
they
wasn't
ruined
good.
that movie. What was it?
It was a bomb, dude.
No, but what was
It
the
was a
movie
flop.
called?
Uh, Dial of Destiny,
Dial of
Indiana
Destiny.
Jones,
Yeah, that movie is terrible. Not good.
really bad.
I could see certain parts that were pretty neat, but there was not a
Oh,
good.
there you go.
See,
There
I
you go.
tell you, I got to see both sides because there was things that I enjoyed. I still enjoyed something.
The opening scene
Um,
was cool. I wish it was
I wish it was the whole thing,
the whole thing. Yeah.
but yeah, then you get Wombat, right?
Then
Phoebe
you get
Waller-Bridge.
Wombat.
I
Is it
will say
Wombat? I
this: if
gotta
you
look it up.
watch Fleabag, and I've watched like I've watched like a few episodes, and then I kind of skipped and watched someone's summary of the movie of the show. So like I'm like, oh, this is like this is cool. I see what her writing style is, like what she was going in her approach, and it seemed neat, but it's not for me. I don't like her. I don't like her stuff. I don't, not that I don't like V Waller, but she's probably cool. I don't know her personally. Saying I don't like
I
her writing. Her writing isn't for me. I know you've
Yeah.
probably watched Fleabag
I
and
liked
you're like,
Fleabag. I watched it. I
yeah,
liked it.
it's sleaze bag, if you ask
Please
me,
bang
because
bang.
what she does. You know what I mean? Like I know the ending of that show, and I was like, the acting is really cool, but like she still plays the same character in every movie. Like even in the freaking Indiana Jones, it was Fleabag that girl.
That's true. It was her, right? And she was like that snarky. It was just terrible. But the point is, like, we don't want her making a Tomb Raider series, right? Like, as much as she might be a good writer, I mean, she's yet to prove herself. I mean, she had a lot of talk with Fleabag, but she just, struck out a bunch with
Yeah,
Indiana Jones.
that's what we talked about with the Rotten Tomato score, right? Fleabag did really well, but just because she did Fleabag doesn't mean she should be doing Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like it just because I can't think of a freaking Francis Ford Coppola did Megapolis and it's gonna do really freaking well doesn't mean he should be freaking making I don't know Captain Marvel. You know, I don't know, like
Just because Jerry Seinfeld made a great New York TV series
there.
doesn't mean he should be talking about Pop Tarts.
That's funny because you
Yeah.
said that that's what he does in that movie. He brings back a joke that he had fired
Yeah,
back in the You just did it right now.
that's what I did. That's what I
Brought it
did.
back, brought it back. But yeah.
Uh,
Well, let's move on to the next thing, Jace, because this is something that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to get too crazy into it, but it's essentially we're going to talk about Doctor Who, and it's going to be a very short one because I thought this was really hilarious, and this is the first time I've ever seen this in my life, where I was like, "Wow, this is a fun thing to say about a film, or I mean a show." But so it says the launch of Doctor Who season 14 was brought with mixed ratings, with the debut episodes Space Babies and The Devil's Cord attracting 2.6 million and 2.4 million viewers respectively. These figures are among the lowest the series with only Legend of the Sea Devils drawing fewer viewers in 2022. However, these numbers don't reflect the full audience as they exclude those who watched early on the BBC iPlayer, a significant factor given these seasons episodes premiered there before their BBC One airing. And then this is the sweet part, as I love this. Additionally, it says no. Well, this is how I wrote it. It says figures are also likely have been affected by good weather in the UK. Essentially, they're saying people weren't at home to watch this episode because it was beautiful outside.
dude,
It could be possible. I don't know, but dude, I read that I was dying, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, what a way to like, you know, say it wasn't the show that was bad. It's you who went out and
right.
you should have stayed home.
You should have stayed home and watched the show. It was too beautiful outside. And dude, the funny thing was, I don't know if you saw there was, oh man, I can't remember if it was like, I can't remember which YouTuber did it, but they found a comment when they were talking about the debut of these shows, right? And it was like 11:34, and somebody in the comments said they're probably gonna blame it on something like this or the weather, right? They say it, and then that article came out like 5 minutes afterwards, claiming that it was because of the weather. Like they called it, like they were. It was just like a predictable thing. Like they're obviously gonna say that the numbers dropped because of the weather, and it was joking, and it actually happened. And I was just like, dude, it's predictable. Like they know what they have here, man. Come on. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. Like I don't know I haven't watched Doctor Who, like, but I know it's a British show. I know that it's supposed to be based on a British man, right? Like it's rooted in British lore. Like people love that show because it was a family show. It's been going on for what, 14 seasons now, 15 seasons.
So it's been going on for a long time, and it's like super beloved. I've never gotten into this show, and I only started hearing about it until like Disney had acquired whatever, and then started kind of going downhill
Yeah, they're pushing
for
it now.
people because they started pushing like I don't know agendas or whatever, and people were like getting mad because they made one of the doctors a homosexual man, and they started made a doctor a woman, and so people were just talking crap about it. Again, I don't have anything really to say about that. Like, I mean, you like what you like. Um, it's not Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, so I can't really expand on it. But it's just I think proof is in the pudding. The weather is the reason most things do bad. So if for whatever reason, Jason, why the Fall Guy isn't making the money that it should be, why do you think it is, Jason?
It's too sunny out there.
It's too sunny
Obviously.
outside. You guys should be home, or you guys should be in the theaters instead of on a
That's right.
pool.
Exactly.
Swimming. But it's
That's
just
too funny.
that is just funny. But yeah, we'll end it there. Jason, thank you for joining me on the cast today. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you, friends of the cast, for coming onto the episode. I know we had a good little stream. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you. Jason, please send us home.
Oh wow, I have to do your extra. What does it usually say? Usually say, guys, thank you guys for joining us every week when we do drop an episode.
Man, can I tell you something? As I was talking about it, I wanted to remember what I say, and it went over my head tonight. But thank you for bringing it back. Go.
That's all right. I want to thank your wife for letting you stream almost 2 hours. It's almost at the 2-hour mark. I know she's probably behind you right now saying you get off the internet right now.
She's got a knife to my back.
But yeah, dude, it was great. Thank you for letting me come on again. Thanks for joining, for co-hosting, as we say. It was really fun because we haven't talked movies in quite a while. Thank you guys in streaming land who are watching this live. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys aren't having a great week, hope you have a great weekend. Hope you guys go out and see a good movie. Fall Guys, Fall Guys is pretty good. I think I'm going to watch Planet of the Apes this weekend if I can. But there's a lot of great stuff streaming. You just got to look for it, right? There's a lot of great anime. Got a great. I know we're talking a lot about things that aren't great right now, but there's a lot of good stuff. Go watch.
You just got to go find it.
Just got to go find it. Maybe we'll do an episode about like the good stuff we're watching, but.
We always do the beginning of stuff is what we always talk about. What are we watching? And it's like, this is good.
That's true.
I'll be honest with you. I forgot to mention, but you looking toasty, dude. You're looking real tanned.
Oh, I got a little tan going on.
Yeah, you look toasty. Like you look like if I had a little marshmallow and I put it like.
Maybe it could be the lighting, dude. I think I have to fix the lighting. But
that's right. You look good.
Guys, hope you guys have a great weekend, and thank you guys for joining us. If you guys want us to do more like casual streams, let us know, because I'm trying to convince this guy to do it more often, more frequently. If you guys are down for that, let us know in the comments.
Certainly.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, let's get that outro music started.
You didn't even put it on, dude.
Any other thing you want to say before the music hits?
No, I like when the music hits and I'm talking and it goes louder. That's like my favorite thing.
Because it ramps up, dude.
It does ramp up.
I need to have like a one that doesn't ramp up so I can do it myself. But
it would be cool if you could kind of control the audio a little bit, huh?
I could. This is the old one. So, oh, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah, it's coming. But yeah, dude, it was nice talking to you guys. Thank you, friends of the cast. Goodbye.
Here he goes.